Theresa here of Larkin Design, and welcome to Freebie Friday. The first Friday of every month, I release a free silhouette cut file that is available for you to download at my website, larkindesigntm.com. So I invite you to hop over to my blog and download this cut file, and in the meantime, you can watch and see what I create with it. So let's get started. The name of this cut file is You Are My Star. And my idea was to print stars onto my cardstock and then cut certain areas of the star and fold them over so that the background paper would show. And I wanted to use some contrasting colors. I'm working here with the Dear Lizzie Saturday collection. This was the collection she released before her most recent one. So there was this navy background paper that I thought would be really pretty showing through underneath these stars. So you're seeing me here, I'm just folding those cuts over to reveal that background. And here's my photo that I'm going to use. This is a photo taken earlier this summer when Alan and I traveled to the mountains of North Carolina, and so that is the starting point for my layout. And so we had just gotten all packed up in the car and we're getting ready to get on the road, and so just sort of had this feeling of, you know, we were traveling for a few days by ourselves, just as a couple with no children, and there's sort of a wild and free feeling that you get when you get in the car and you realize that, hey, it's just me and you. Let's go Thelma and Louise this, you know? So that's kind of what this photo reminds me of. I'm also going to cluster some embellishments around this photo. So what I ended up doing with the cut file was I printed it and cut it, and I cut the 12 by 12 sheet smaller. I think it ended up being about 10 by 10 and a half, or 10 and a half, or 11 by 10, or something like that. And so again, I'm just working here with some of the embellishments. And I wanted to work with the embellishments that had that navy in it and also that coral pinkish color that the stars were printed in. Now, when you download your cut file, you can change the color of those stars. Just use your color dropper and your paint bucket tool, and it should be able to make those whatever color you would like for them to be. So I made a little tag here. I just used some washi tape going across the top of it. I can't exactly remember what washi tape that is. Just something that I have from my stash. But I wanted to reinforce the top there. It's really the back of one of the tags from the cut apart sheet. So, and then I'm going to write my journaling on to that tag. And I punched a hole in it, and then, you know, you can put a little bit of twine or something in there if you want to, but you don't have to, you know. It's up to you. So since the fold over parts of those stars raise the photo a little bit, I'm going to use pop dots on a lot of the embellishments and also on the photo as well, just to raise them up and make them hover over the top of the print and cut file. And then I pretty much am convinced that I want to use some of these florals from this patterned paper. So I'm going to just fussy cut those and I'll let the music play. So once I have all the flowers, they're cut and they're sort of generally arranged where I want them to go. I'm sort of thinking about the title here. At first I had thought I would use today, but it's not really working out for me, and I kind of know that. But I did want to layer a couple of the patterns underneath the photo here. So I'm going to go ahead and figure that out. And I think what I'm going to do is probably go ahead and adhere all the embellishments. Still just sort of figuring out these pattern papers. They're just too pretty not to use, right? So just layers upon layers. And I like to just have like little corners of them sticking out. One main kind of background paper, and then a couple of the little edges popping out behind it. And I think here it's really all about the colors that you want to pull out. Just as a contrast, as sort of visual interest here, just whatever you like. That's my big secret. Put on your layouts just whatever you like. Don't worry about, does this match, does this balance? Don't worry about any of that. However your eye sees is what makes it you and what makes it uniquely your personality. So I'm using some of the marketing strips as well. Those are always real fun, quick, easy ways to slip a little tiny bit of color underneath your photo. And now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to glue that photo down. So again, using the pop dots just to raise it above those cut pieces on the print and cut file. Floral elements here, and notice how on the right hand side of the layout I layered some of those embellishments. I started with the ampersand, it's on the bottom, and it's just adhered directly to the cardstock, and then the other embellishments are lifted up around it. So really I felt a little bit like grouping these florals at the top of this layout was a little bit tricky, and I'm not sure why. I think I just wanted them to go almost to the top of the page. So I'm working kind of with a design principle here of movement, where your eye goes across the bottom of the page from left to right, and then diagonally up. So there's a visual triangle there. I think that I've succeeded in that. I think. So we'll see once I get that title down. That the title is still, still weighing on my mind here. It's a thing that I don't have figured out yet, but I'll get there. Another balloon right here, and again this balloon on the lower left hand corner, that little cluster, is the starting point. It tells your eye start here. The journaling also tells your eye start here, travel across the page, and then go diagonally back up. I've got a few embellishments here in a little muffin tin. These are mostly from Ellie's studio. Just some little acrylic pieces, wood pieces. And I'm going to just put a little bit of wood here, a little bit of wood veneer. I'm looking to see if I want to use some of those white acrylic words as my title. And they're just not, they just don't pop. They end up sort of vanishing behind, they end up sort of vanishing in front of those floral elements. I think that's where I'm going to put my title, is layered on top of those florals. So yeah, I'll get it figured out. Keep playing around when you just don't feel like it's right yet. Keep playing around. Play around with different products. Here's the proof if you ever wonder, do I get stumped by indecision? Yes, I do. So back to this today piece, and it's just not. The wood pieces, no. Alright, put all those wood pieces back. And I'm going to look here at the, these are the chipboard title pieces that came with the Saturday kit. And there, the Wild and Free just fit right there. It's, you know, it's interesting. It's what was in my mind to begin with. And I thought, oh, maybe it's too big. Maybe it's just not right. But in the end, your first instinct so many times ends up being the right thing. So I really like that there. And right now I'm just finalizing just adding a few little more details here around the page. I wanted to repeat the star elements just because it's fun and it's happy. And I had these little acrylic pieces that sort of tie in a little bit more blue here. And I'm just going to use my tape runner. Okay, I decided against the acrylic ones and brought in the wood ones instead. And I like that. It brought in a little bit of texture there, and it repeated that one little wood embellishment that I put down at the bottom there. So that ended up working out. And notice how I'm letting just a few little things go off that print and cut file, just so that it establishes a relationship of the print and cut file with the background paper. So I think that just about wraps up this layout. I hope that you will like and comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please visit my blog and download this cut file if you would like at larkindesigntm.com. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.